but we are currently seeing a gold buying binge. This one from Molly Elmore, and huge shout out to Molly. We're big fans of her. If you guys haven't checked out the interview that I did with Molly, I highly recommend it. She's a very smart lady, and she had an incredible session with me over here on my show. Look it up, Molly Elmore, and my name, and I think you should be able to pull it up. But she says the last time, or no, this is from the article, the last time this level of buying was seen marked a historical turning point for the global monetary system. In 1967, European central banks bought massive volumes of gold from the United States, leading to a run on the price and the collapse of the London gold pool of reserves that hastened the eventual demise of the Bretton Woods system that tied the value of the US dollar to the precious metal. Gold buyers binge on biggest volumes for 55 years. Now, what's important here, guys, to note is that this was front running. This was leading up to the United States going off the gold standard and the Bretton Woods agreement having to go bust. So a similar scenario right here. The banks and financial institutions are loading up on utility distributed ledger technology, right? And then the central banks are buying a record amount of gold, and specifically a buying binge that we haven't seen in 55 years, which brings us to the last currency reset. 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, and then you can see what's happened to the value of the US dollar since. Truly incredible, the similarities that we're seeing right now, folks, within the markets, within the stock markets, within the commodities, and the overall situation here. Very similar to back then in the 70s. And very similar to the 2008, 2009 great financial crisis as well. Okay. But one thing's for sure. We can watch here what they're doing, and we could take advantage of this opportunity for ourselves as well. In 1960, yeah. This led to a collapse of the London gold pool. Remember, they just had to shut down the London Metals Exchange this last year as well. We continue to get liquidity crisis, and then they just continue to break records with the amount of gold that they're buying. And then they lie to us while they do partnerships and deals on XRP ledger technology, behind the scenes. Right here, we have the announcement that gold-backed digital assets have been issued in Russia. This one is from our friend James Rule XRP. Gold-based digital assets being issued in Russia. And as we've been talking about, these other countries, the BRICS nations, are moving ahead whether we like it or not. So it's up to us to get our act together, or we're going to get left behind. The unfortunate part for me is I feel like they have set this up so that the old guard gets consolidated, sacrificed, but the ones that do survive have accumulated all the gold, all the XRP, and all the assets that matter. Right. So this is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. And that's why I want people to be tapped in, to be preparing, not just reading headlines, not just reading the news, doom and gloom, and sitting here twiddling our thumbs, complaining about it, but actually taking matters into our own hands and figuring out what action we can take on a daily basis to navigate this crisis. This one's from Robert Kiyosaki. I became a gold bug in 1972. I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam flying behind enemy lines, hoping to buy gold at a discount because the mine was in enemy hands. Found out the price of gold is the same all over the world. I predict silver going to $75 and gold to $3,800 in 2023. So how about that? A couple predictions from Robert Kiyosaki. $75 for silver, $3,800 for gold. But what's also fascinating about that is how he mentions, right, that the price of gold was the same across the planet, right? It was a currency that's been accepted across the planet. And as we're seeing once again here today, there's a reason why these central banks are stuffing the vaults with their gold. Now, if you guys are looking to make that move, as you guys already know, I do have a affiliate down below, Precious Metals link. Get in touch with my people if you're looking to roll over your retirement 401k to Precious Metals. They'll help you roll over your retirement account, okay? But then they also will ship you physical metals as well. Okay, they just require a rather large minimum. But if you're looking to make a big investment into precious metals, you can get in touch with my people. Or if you're looking to roll over your retirement account, the link on down below will help you get that process started. And it takes some time. And as we're seeing here, this thing can happen at any point, right? It's just like the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit. It could be settled up at any point. This real collapse, this currency collapse, is happening in real time. I think we're all just waiting for that big black swan, that flip of the switch moment where they're going to flip off and it's going to crash even further to where they have to shut down the system before we get that reboot. It does feel like we're very close though. That's for sure. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.